Hey Giselle, Professor Ball here. How's it going? During the course of the semester, you're going to get feedback from me like this, where I give you video feedback on your work, or I will be responding to your papers with comments inside the body of the paper. So you're lucky enough to get a video this time, so let's get started. The first thing I do with your work when I open up the page is I look at the MLA format. So you do have Sanchez 1 here. There is a space between your last name and the page number, so Sanchez 1. And then you do have your name, my name, the class, and the date. This needs to be double spaced, though, so just be aware of that for next time. You do have a title, which is good. It's not a creative title. It doesn't really capture the reader's attention, and we'll talk about that more in just a minute. But you do have one, so that's good. All right. So Alicia Keys' use of rhetorical strategies. The way many well-known people these days try to reach out and encourage others to be themselves and succeed in their goals is through social media. Good. Social media is the one way that one person who has a good reputation and has done something in their life to be recognized by thousands to put out their beliefs and ideas. That is true. Sometimes they offer tips and share experiences of people they have met who they think are a good example of what they believe is good to try and influence others or tell them they are not the only ones. Alicia Keys, so capital K, uses her social media, which includes Instagram, Twitter, because you only have two types of social media, Instagram and Twitter, to comment and praise the greatness of people she knows and whom she does not personally know. Just by reading her captions on the picture she posts, so I'm just going to put a PUNC there. She uses rhetorical strategies which she may or may not be aware of. Good. So you set this up well. You introduce your paper with this idea of social media. Then you get a little more specific by introducing Alicia Keys. And then you do have your thesis. A more effective thesis could go one step further and say something like, she uses rhetorical strategies like ethos, logos, pathos, kairos, which she may or may not be aware of. Okay. We can see how Alicia uses ethos to her advantage because she is a well-known public figure and has a way of affecting people with her optimism and through her music. Yes, her bio has a few words that explain what she is all about and what she values most in her life. She uses the same words for both Instagram and Twitter. Alicia Keys states, and when you have a quotation and the word before the quotation is a verb, it's verb, comma, quote. So states, comma, quotation mark. Passionate about my work, in love with my family, and dedicated to spreading light. It's contagious. Because you already have an exclamation mark here, you don't need your period. She has an outstanding amount of followers, which amount to a little over 30 million on Twitter. That's really good. She shares more thoughts and ideas on Twitter, which is a good idea because she has more people she can reach out to. Good. So then, if we're looking at the prompt, let's see if this pops up. What is it that you're talking about? Is it ethos, logos, pathos, kairos? Because the way the essay should be organized is each paragraph should cover one of those. This sounds like it's still just background. Alicia, and I wanted to tell you, unless she's a friend of yours, it's Keys, or the singer, or the mother of two, or the judge on The Voice, or the Grammy winner, or the New York native. Try to use a little variety in the way you do that as well. Okay, moving on. Alicia Keys uses pathos very often in almost every post she puts on social media. One of her most recent posts makes everyone aware of the empathy she has for the Douglas High School shooting in Parkland, Florida on February 18th. This should be moved over to there. She states, comma, we are with you, Emma Gonzalez, and I had just talked to you about the punctuation, I didn't tell you about that. Almost always the punctuation goes inside the quotation marks. So Gonzalez, comma, quotation mark, a girl who stood up in a gun control rally for the 17 who were killed that day. We can see that she cares and feels the losses with those who lost their loved ones and lets many know that they are in her prayers. The fact that she also says we, meaning not only her but hundreds of others, are thinking of those who are grieving, but also those who are fighting for the ones who lost their life in the tragic accident. what about the fact? I know where you were going with that, but you don't kind of complete the thought. The fact that she also says we shows that we are fighting for the ones who lost their life in the tragic accident. That would be a more complete sentence. So you have your point with pathos. You illustrate it with the Parkland, Florida shooting, but then remember the from summary to analysis handout when you had your pie. You have your point, your illustration, but you need to explain why it's important. So that's where you would include you would restate something about pathos, or you would say something again about empathy. Alicia Keys also uses logos in her comments about political views and feminism rights. She often posts pictures of African American models, and this is really just a small thing, but it would be hyphenated because what kind of models are they? They're African American, so dash. Who have succeeded despite what the world says about them. She fights for those who are often being brought down for racial issues. Alicia Keys stands up for African American women, again with the hyphen. What kind of women? African American women. Because she sees how much this specific group of people have needed to go through to get treated the same as everyone else that many do not see and understand how hard it was. She uses logical reasoning to try to influence not only women but African American women to stand up together and fight back in an optimistic way. She often praises the natural beauty that women have and tries to make them appreciate that every woman is beautiful in a different way. So this one's a better example of the pie handout because you say it's logos, you give us example, and she's using logical reasoning. Okay, so you do pathos, logos. Where is ethos? Let's see, is this ethos? Oh, ethos here. Okay, so you're missing kairos. Let's see. Okay, there's a ring at my front door. Hold on. Get rid of that. I don't think you mentioned kairos. So with kairos, you don't. So with kairos, what that is your analysis of when she posts the right thing at the right time. So the Parkland shooting could be pathos because it's showing her emotion, but if she did it that day or that hour, that could be kairos. If she posts the day that Emma Gonzalez did her speech, or the week or the day that all the students walked out for the first time, that would be kairos. So you want to make sure that you include everything that came up in the prompt. All right, let's get to your conclusion. There is a difference between using social media to promote hate and promoting unity. Well, that's good. That would be a good title, Promoting Unity. We see the effect that several celebrities have on millions of people. This highlights the importance of using these media outlets as support systems. Alicia Keys uses rhetorical strategies to help make a difference in the way people see the world. What about making a difference in the way people see the world, their surroundings, and themselves? So you wrap this up fine. Okay. Your works cited page needs to be up here, and that just can be a Canvas thing. And also, each of the times that you talk about a tweet or an Instagram post, you need to include a separate entry. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to include this website here where it goes into detail, because I know the video covered it, but this will go into detail on how to do your works cited page. So take a look at that for next time. And yeah, you do have the right idea with your essay, just you're missing kairos. All right. So use this video for completing the next assignment, which is an error log, which is where you go in and you fix the little things that I talked to you about. And then you'll use these ideas also for your future papers. Okay. So let me know if you have any questions, and we will talk again. Thanks.